Hi everyone, welcome back to iRender tutorial series. There are many interesting tutorials out there on simulating differential growth. But Louis Brodning on the Entagma channel showed a Blender workflow, and Konstantin Magnus demonstrated it in Houdini. Both introduced a new, fascinating method using curvature to drive the simulation. In today's video, we'll take this fresh approach and show you how to create differential curve growth with scene nodes in Cinema 4D. By driving the simulation through curvature, you'll learn a powerful technique to generate natural, dynamic growth patterns directly inside C4D. Let's get started. We'll start by adding a spline node. In the scene node environment of Cinema 4D, use the N-side node and place it on the XY plane with a radius of 50 centimeters. Next, create parameters to control both the radius and the number of sides. Set the side value equals 2 to generate the basic starting curve. To simulate natural curve growth, we'll combine point relaxation with noise displacement. Start by using a memory node to handle the point relaxation process. Inside the memory node space, we'll add a resample spline node. Set mode equals step, choose uniform, and create control parameters for base step and step variance. The combination of these values will determine the relaxing step. Next, add a relax point node together with geometry property get and geometry property set nodes to perform a relax point. Then create the necessary control variables. hit play, and you'll notice the curve starting to extend and develop in length. We need to introduce variation in the curve positions by using a point modifier node. Inside its space, we add a sample noise node along with other supporting nodes and create the necessary control parameters to drive the noise effect. Once the noise values are ready, we normalize the position and use a scale node to apply the noise to the curve's point positions. Then, return to the memory node. We'll enable jiggle on the relax point node. In the axis enable option, deselect the Z axis so the movement only happens on XY. Finally, we adjust relax strength and scale displacement to get a basic differential growth pattern through point relaxation combined with noise displacement. First, we need to create normal vectors for the curve. These vectors must be perpendicular to the curve's tangent vectors. Use spline length, evaluate spline node and other helper nodes to calculate the tangent vector. After having the tangent, we calculate its directional product with the z-axis vector to determine the normal vector. Finally, use the Assemble Collection node to collect the normal vectors in an array. At the same time, we use the Append Element node to collect the positions on the corresponding curve. This gives us the foundation for curvature-based deformation. Following the approach of Louis Brodning in Blender, we can calculate the signed angle between positions on the curve using scene nodes in Cinema 4D. We use the Aggregate node with operations set to min and max, and a Smooth Step node to smooth out the signed angle values. We will clamp the angle within a range of negative pi to avoid extreme values. Then, use this angle to scale the normal vectors. And add them to the curve's point positions. Don't forget to create a parameter that controls the scale amount. Finally, we reduce step variance and relax strength until the curve evolves smoothly. At this stage, you'll see the differential growth effect driven by the curve's curvature. Use the spline chamfer node with offset set to radial and assign the value to the relax strength parameter. Then, apply the resample spline node again with base step equals 1. Go back to the relax point node and uncheck jiggle to refine the effect. Now the curve grows differentially, following its curvature. Finally, use the Smooth Edge node, set to point, to smooth out the result. You can use Loft Object or Extrude Object to create a surface for the curve. Adjust the parameters until you are satisfied with the result. And that's it. We've just finished simulating differential curve growth driven by curvature using scene nodes in Cinema 4D. We hope this tutorial helps you in your own projects. And if your current setup is holding you back, remember, iRender provides powerful workstations from single to 8 RTX 4090, so you can pick exactly what matches your project needs and budget. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay updated with more tutorials coming your way. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy rendering, happy creating with iRender.